Breaking tonight, 12 days out from Election Day. 12. And Donald Trump, along with key members of his team, are pointing people to a clip from a brand new documentary by progressive filmmaker Michael Moore. What? Here is the part they want to share. Watch.
Whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant because he's saying the things to people who are hurting. And it's why every beaten down, nameless, forgotten working stiff who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. He is the human Molotov cocktail that they've been waiting for. They've essentially lost everything they had, except one thing. The one thing that doesn't cost them a cent and is guaranteed to them by the American Constitution, the right to vote.
But the story does not end there. In moments, we will speak with Michael Moore. But first, Trace Gallagher is in our Los Angeles newsroom with the story behind this strange political alliance. Trace?
Megan, during the speech that appears in his new movie, Trumpland, the liberal filmmaker explained to an audience in Wilmington, Ohio, about why it is that Donald Trump has more support than people think. Moore talked about Trump's appeal. He even defended Trump supporters, who he once called legal terrorists. Michael Moore is not a Trump fan, but he makes a compelling case about why some people are. Watch.
Corporate America hates Trump. Wall Street hates Trump. The career politicians hate Trump. The media hates Trump. Yes, on November 8th, you, Joe Blow, Steve Blow, Bob Blow, Billy Bob Blow, all the blows get to go and blow up the whole goddamn system because it's your right. Trump's election is going to be the biggest f*** you ever recorded in human history. And it will feel good.
The video has gone viral among Trump supporters, with both Donald Trump and Donald Jr. applauding it. Trump Sr. writing, quote, "I agree, Michael Moore, to all Americans, I see you and I hear you. I am your voice. Vote to drain the swamp with me on November 8th. Political experts say it appears the filmmaker is genuine in his warning that voters who are currently or formerly in the middle class have been forgotten, and that for them a vote for Trump would be the ultimate FU. But this apparent ode to Trump is without context, as Michael Moore himself points out on Twitter, quoting, "Hey everyone, Trump Jr. and the right wing thinks my movie called Trumpland is pro-Trump. Ha ha. Please don't tell them otherwise. Righties have doctored clip from my film to make it look pro-Trump. 7.9 million views, sending millions to iTunes. Trumpland #1. For the record, the viral clip wasn't doctored. It simply left off this part. Watch.
Like the Brits, who wanted to send a message, so they voted to leave Europe, only to find out that if you vote to leave Europe, you actually have to leave Europe. And now they regret it. All the Ohioans, Pennsylvanians, Michiganders, and Wisconsinites of Middle England, right? They all voted to leave, and now they regret it.
No question with this trolling, Michael Moore ginned up support for his film. Big question whether he also ginned up support for Trump. Megan.
Trace, thank you. Joining us now, the man behind Michael Moore in Trumpland, documentary filmmaker and best-selling author Michael Moore. Michael, great to see you again.
Thanks for having me on.
So the real zinger at the end of this clip is you say that everybody, when they vote for Trump, they're going to find out after a few months in office that President Trump wasn't going to do a damn thing for them. It will be too late to do anything about it. You've done it. You've sent the message. Good night, America. You've just elected the last president of the United States. What does that mean?
That means that, well, first of all, when I said doctor, they cut me off right after I said, oh, and it'll feel good after you vote for him. Mm-hmm. And then the next line is for a day, mm-hmm. maybe a week. Mm-hmm. But when you find out that your life isn't going to get any better under President Trump and probably will get worse, that's when you're going to realize what the Brits have realized now.
That whole thing is the wind-up to your ultimate hit.
Yeah, it's the wind-up. They only show the wind-up.
You're being duped. That's your argument. But why? And what do you mean he'll be the last president? He's going to blow up the world? Is that your, I mean, what are you saying?
I mean, what I'm saying by that is if we elect Donald Trump as president of this country, it won't be the same country after 4 years. I'm absolutely convinced of that. This is the most vile, disgusting candidate that has ever run for office in this country.
How can you say that when you understand the white working class? You've appealed to them time and time again.
Yeah.
You understand, and you outline perfectly why they're attracted to him. They want him to blow things up. As you say, he's a human Molotov cocktail.
Right. So I'm here, and I'm here on Fox to appeal to people who are watching to not do that. I understand why you're angry. You have every right to be angry. The system has failed you. But he is not the solution to this. And I make the case in the film. The film is a sort of a humorous love poem to Hillary Clinton, because I think I
can hear the ticket sales now.
Yeah, well, it's been #1 on iTunes since last Friday.
Thanks to Trump.
Yeah, well, it was #1. Then The Walking Dead took over. Then The Living Dead. Trump started pushing it because he didn't watch the movie.
Yeah.
If he'd watched the whole movie, he and Don Jr. wouldn't be promoting this.
Yeah, no,
because the movie says get out there and vote for Hillary Clinton.
He tweets out, "This is Donald Trump. I agree, Michael Moore. I agree," he says. And Donald Trump Jr. says, "Michael Moore gets this one 100% right."
Yeah.
But you've said,
So obviously he didn't watch the movie because it tells everybody to vote.
Well, he's a busy man.
So,
but speak to this, because you understand. You speak about the people in Ohio, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and in your piece you talk about how they lost their jobs, they lost their homes, they had a divorce, now the wife and kids are gone, the car's been repoed, they haven't had a real vacation in years, they're stuck with the crappy Obamacare bronze care, they can't even get an effing Percocet. They want change, and they don't see it in Hillary Clinton.
Well, they should, because she will make this better. She is the proponent of universal health care. She's been that way for 25 years, and that is what's going to. Obamacare will get better under her. Remember, the real problem with Obamacare is not the Obama part of it. It's that private insurance companies are still calling the shots. They get to raise these rates. There's no control like there is over Medicare and the things that the government has a say in. Obamacare was only a halfway measure. We'll get the rest of it under Hillary Clinton. She's going to do so many things to raise the minimum wage. She's going to do things that will help equality for women.
You like her so much. Why were you against her when she ran against Obama? And you were against her in the primary. You like Bernie. You seem to be like a reluctant Hillary supporter. Am I wrong? Yeah,
I was a reluctant Hillary, yes, because she voted for the war. I thought she was too cozy with Wall Street. I supported Bernie. I supported Obama 8 years ago.
What about all the WikiLeaks disclosures? Do they bother you?
No.
You're a lefty.
No, not at all.
You don't care about the Clinton cash and the...
No, I care about women should be paid the same as men. I care about the polar ice caps melting. I care about the big issues. And those are the ones you've got to have the smart person in the room. And though I may not agree with her on all these issues, that's not really the point anymore. The point is that we have a choice between somebody who is smart, who has a heart, who's going to stand up for kids and for families and for working people, and we have a billionaire who just says these things, trying to pretend that he cares. And just the con with me right now, just the con that where they've taken a piece of my movie and put it out, only half of that little clip out there.
Do you think it's knowing? You think it's knowing, or is it just an error that they haven't?
Well, there's no error. No, it's either one. It's either they're dumb, and I honestly don't think they are. Or they know they're
misleading.
They're like dumb like a fox, maybe. Yes, they are. They know they're misleading people because they're counting on the fact that people who are in the working class are so desperate and so hurt by what has happened to them that all they'll do is hear those few words and not hear the rest of my paragraph.
But even before you articulated very well how they feel, they were with Donald Trump. He is beating her by 33 points with the white working class. 33. I mean, it's huge. They are attracted not just to the messenger, but to the message too.
Yes, that's sad.
But you know how they feel. This is the way many Republicans and what we know about these folks is many of them feel like disenfranchised Republicans. Is they're sick and tired of people talking down to them and telling them they're too stupid to understand what's good for them.
Exactly, and they're not irredeemable. No human being.
They're not deplorable, and they're not all racist.
Racists are deplorable. But you're right.
Right.
They're not irredeemable. No human is irredeemable.
Michael Moore thinks he's smarter than me. He's basically telling me I'm too stupid to realize I shouldn't support Trump.
No,
well, I get it. I've been watching Trump, and they're saying, I love him. I don't care what Michael Moore's trying to tell me.
And what I'm saying is, I understand you've been abused. And I'm here in Ohio to conduct an intervention, to basically to say that sometimes abused people have a hard time making up their minds and making the right decision because of the abuse. And the attack on the working class has been so intense over the last couple of decades that I understand why there's a lot of confusion here. And Trump is a huge ball of confusion in this. And it seems like he's going to be your human hand grenade that you're going to get to toss in there. When Trace pointed out there about the legal terrorists, it's that actually what I had said is that there is a legal way on November 8th to do what Trump says he's going to do, blow up the system. You can participate in that by going in there and handing the hand grenade to Donald Trump. I think that's a risky proposition. I think it's a dangerous thing to do. And I think that you're not going to be better off with this billionaire who's never spent a day in his life worrying about you, caring about you, doing anything for you.
If they see it and they find out that it's not a pro-Trump film, they're smart enough to realize this is information. I'll take this point of view and I'll make up my own mind, as they will do in.
Yeah, but he's lied to them, and I'll already have their $5, and I want to give it back to them.
Well, go for it.
I don't know how to do that.
You give it to me, and I'll make sure it gets to them. Trust me.
You have.
Okay, I gotta go. Michael Moore, a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me on.
Great to see you.
All right.
Also tonight, with early voting underway, Trace Gallagher has new details on reported problems at the voting booths.